Okay, every year I design a printed and digital version of a student journal for a biology department at a state university. And I've been doing this since about 2008. So I just wanted to share with you what a contract proof, a printer's proof is, and how to look over a printer's proof that has been paginated. So the structure of the book has been laid out in a printing format, so it's going to print front to back. We know where the scoring is going to happen and where the trim lines are going to happen and things like that. So you can see here, this is a digital proof, and you can see how large it is. And this is actually the one side. It contains 8 pages. Each of these contains 8 pages, and they would go back to back with what's on basically the next sheet. So that when you have a completed printed book, you've got the recto pages are backing up to the verso pages, or the right-hand pages back up to the left-hand pages. So this book is black and white. It's just a single color ink on the interior, but it's a full color cover, and the cover is a wraparound. The final size, the trim size of this is 8.5 by 11, so it is a journal format. This is a journal, not a magazine. It's actually going to be perfect bound, which means it's going to be, all the signatures are going to be put together and saddle stitched and then wrapped with the wraparound cover. So this being the contract or the printer's proof, it's basically the last stop of quality control and making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be on the page and that I didn't do any glitching or make any mistakes. So it's my last opportunity to catch what needs to be caught before it actually goes to print. We can see over here in the margin that these are the color bars. This is the color registration. We can see we have these little target marks, these little plus signs, which are registration marks. This is going to be trimmed this way and trimmed this way. And then these here and here are folds. The book itself is 48 pages. So there should be 6 of these sheets. And there are. So this is the title page. So once you open it up, this is the first page that we're going to see. And then this page is the left-hand side, or the back side of this page. So when this is actually paginated and trimmed, it's actually going to be this, and this is page 2, and then we go on from there. So this is an 8-up form. It's got 8 pages and representing 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures. So it's front and back. Then the signature is folded and then bound together with all the other signatures into the final book. So what I want to look for here is just to make sure that everything is as it should be. So I want to make sure that certain things are going to fall outside the trim mark, like right in here. We can see right there, there's a trim mark. And where those two crosshairs intersect, that's basically the edge of the page. As I said, this is going to be an 8.5 by 11. We can see here there's a cut line. So this all looks pretty good. There is one page that I am concerned about, and that is this one. And see this little band right here? That's actually outside the trim line of the page. And this is actually going to fall in the gutter. So what I have to make sure of with the printer is that that's not going to actually print, that that's going to be cut off. But this is a fold. This is the outside of the page. The page numbers are on the outside margin. So I've got to make sure that that is not going to print. It's not going to be visible. And other than that, everything looks good. There's good contrast here. Things are looking exactly the way I intended. So in terms of printing, this is going to be printed offset, and it is a single color on the front side of the sheet and single color on the back side of the sheet. It's the same color, so it's considered a 1/1 print run. One color over one color. So this is the cover, and it's a wraparound, so we have both the front and the back, and then the spine. So with the perfect binding, that's going to give you a right angle turn so that the binding is actually flat. So it's a journal, not a magazine. And what I'm looking for here is basically, again, is everything where it needs to be? Is the color working? Because even though these proofs are digital and not run on the offset press where the final is going to be run, these are pretty true to form in terms of color. By the way, when you are press checking or reviewing contract proofs from a printer, in order to understand if there's a color shift either toward cyan, toward magenta, or toward yellow, you want to look at the neutral colors. You want to look at flesh tones. You want to look at the grays. Because a lot of grays and a lot of blacks are going to be created from all four colors, all four process colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And if there's any color shift, if the grays are not looking entirely, truly achromatic and neutral, then there's probably a need for color adjustment within the C, M, and Y. So here's the cyan, here's the magenta, here's the yellow, and here's how we get green, and how we get orange, and red-orange, and how we get blue-violet and violet, and so forth. And here's how we get the chromatic neutrals, which are the earth tones and the browns. You always want to look at the neutrals, the true neutrals especially, when you are press checking in order to determine if there's color shift. So here's the end of the story. After all of that, I received the samples from the printer. So let's unbox. This is the printed book. The interior is all black and white, has some pages that are full bleed. It's printed on a 70-pound uncoated book weight paper. So this is the end result of the project. I'm Alva Lynn Lundgren. Thanks for watching.